Think about the last time you had to make a major life decision. You're balancing a demanding career, family obligations, your own mental health, and the constant pressure to achieve. It feels like standing completely frozen inside a swirling vortex of competing demands. When you're pulled in a dozen different directions, your brain hits a wall. Psychologists call it decision fatigue. Every choice begins to feel like a trap. If you focus on your career, your family suffers. If you prioritize rest, you fall behind. Under that kind of crushing pressure, the natural human instinct is to shut down. You want to drop out, walk away, or just let yourself burn out so you don't have to carry the weight of choosing anymore. We tend to blame this paralysis on the digital age, smartphones, or modern hustle culture. But this is actually an ancient human crisis, one so universal that it required a 5,000-year-old philosophical framework to solve. 5 millennia ago, the legendary warrior Arjuna stands on the edge of a massive battlefield. Surveying the vast opposing army, he becomes completely overwhelmed by the impossible situation and drops his bow in the dust. He is staring down an impossible choice. His sacred duty as a warrior is to fight for justice and protect the innocent. But the commanders of the unjust army standing across from him are his own family members, his cousins, and his revered teachers. Ancient Indian philosophy has a specific term for this, dharma sankata. It translates to a devastating conflict of duties, where no matter what you choose, someone you love is harmed and a core part of your moral code is violated. Facing the horrific consequences of either action, Arjuna decides the only moral path is to walk away. He tells his guide that he refuses to fight, preferring to abandon his responsibilities entirely rather than cause harm. His charioteer and divine guide, Krishna, replies with a counterintuitive truth. He tells Arjuna that retreating to a cave, hiding from life, and abandoning his duties will not bring him peace. This raises the central question of the video. If we cannot escape our conflicting responsibilities, how do we execute them without being completely crushed by the anxiety of the potential consequences? Arjuna complains to Krishna that his mind is restless, turbulent, and as obstinate and unmanageable as the wind. Krishna acknowledges this. He points out that this chaos is the baseline state of the human condition. The mind generates this constant turbulence because it lives entirely in the future. It operates in an endless, exhausting loop, craving successful outcomes and terrified of potential failures. Look at how we work today. We measure our worth in KPIs, quarterly earnings, and social media metrics. We are culturally conditioned to fixate entirely on the finish line, which supercharges this anxiety loop. The Gita makes a critical distinction here. The actual physical work is not what burns you out. What destroys your peace is your mind's rigid attachment to how that work will eventually turn out. To break this cycle, the Gita introduces nishkama karma, action without attachment to the outcome. In Chapter 2, verse 47, Krishna tells Arjuna he has the absolute right to perform his duty, but zero entitlement to its fruits. By mentally severing the link between your effort and your reward, you force your brain out of the future. You stop staring at the terrifying height of the staircase, and you put all your attention on the single step directly in front of you. In practice, this means identifying your immediate, essential responsibility in any given moment, whether that's writing a report, caring for a sick parent, or having a difficult conversation, and pouring 100% of your energy into executing it. This shares DNA with the Stoic idea of controlling what you can, but the Gita goes beyond grim endurance. It requires you to execute your duties with a selfless, higher purpose, transforming work from a personal burden into a contribution to the cosmic order. When you strip away the desperate need for validation or success, your focus sharpens. High performance happens naturally when effort is maximized, and worry about the outcome drops to zero. We know this framework holds up under pressure because we have modern examples. Mahatma Gandhi navigated some of the most intense political and social turmoil of the 20th century. He achieved massive worldly change precisely because he practiced radical non-attachment to personal success or failure. During his darkest periods of overwhelming stress, he read the Bhagavad Gita daily to ground his mind. The ultimate psychological goal of this practice is a state called samatva, absolute emotional equanimity. In this state, you stop evaluating your self-worth based on unpredictable external results. A lost promotion or a failed project no longer destroys you because your value is measured purely by the sincerity of your internal effort. True peace is not found by escaping your life or hiding from your obligations. It is found by diving directly into your responsibilities with a radically detached mind. You do the work, you let go of the result, and you find freedom in the action itself.